All right, Toby, you ready? Yeah. Here, have a seat here, Toby. So, I started out by saying, how do you make a telethon? Well, first you see if your head is screwed on straight, because that's a little ambitious. And then if it is screwed on straight, you just start building a telethon. So you already saw the telephones over there. Let's pan back over there. So those are not fake rotary phones. Those are real rotary phones. And Ian, you see Ian there in the Marine t-shirt? Did I say Marine t-shirt?
Yeah, you said it.
Maroon? Maroon t-shirt. Ian and Toby, who you're going to meet in a second, are the chief architects, along with Bob Jeffway, of the telephone system. So we had to build our own telephone system. So this is Tobe Cynar, and he's also from the New England coast, and somehow he handles being 100 miles away from the coast. But anyways, super happy that you worked on the telephone system. Did you hear that?
I did.
Ooh, that's fun. Did you write a program to ring the phone every few minutes just so we don't get sad?
No.
Those are real.
Yeah.
That's real stuff happening there. And we got the scoreboard over there. We're up to 2750. Anyways, Toby, what is your major here at UMass?
I'm an electrical engineer.
Oh, hold on. I got to remember to do this, right?
I'm an electrical engineer here.
And what year are you in?
I am a sophomore currently.
You know, that's amazing. I've been asking him what year he's in for I guess 2 years. Because I always think he's a year ahead of where he is, because he's just a genius. But you're a sophomore, which is good for me, because that means he's going to be around for a while. And I know people who can delete things on his transcript. That'll keep him here even longer. So we've got this whole thing planned out. What is your major again?
I am an electrical engineer.
Okay. Won't you be an electrical engineer once you graduate?
Yeah, I guess so. So electrical engineering.
Okay. So I know you love Linux and you're an expert with Linux, but what about hardware? What do you like about hardware?
Well, to be honest, I'm still kind of getting my skills in hardware. I haven't really done a lot of circuit design yet, but that's something I'm kind of working towards right now. I've been doing a lot of programming stuff, especially for the telethon, but I would love to, in the future, if we're going to host this again, have some custom hardware that I make. I think that'd be a good challenge, but I'm still working my way up to that.
Absolutely fantastic. So you've been in the software mode for years and years and years. Now it's more hardware, and you've got a really great balance on things. What was a particularly satisfying moment in setting up the telephone network?
I'd say the most satisfying moment was when I finally got both the web server and the Python script that takes the PBX call data, and I got it displaying in OBS properly. And when I called for the first time and I saw that call appear on the stream, I was amazed. It was truly like, it was a release after all this work.
That is so awesome. So we bought the PBX, the Private Branch Exchange. It's a 30-year-old box from Panasonic. And our good friends at a science museum in Wall, New Jersey, they gave us the green light on that. They tested it, and so we ran with that. So one of the features of this Panasonic PBX is that there's a little printer port, and when the calls come in, the calls are printed out on a little printer. Well, Toby's thought was, well, that's just data. Yeah, sure, it's expecting a printer, but whatever, it's just data. So Toby was able to grab that data and get it into the OBS stream. So, Julia, when Mrs. Michaels called, what went up on the screen? Did it say Massachusetts?
It did.
It did?
Yeah.
Wow, that is super cool. So that's completely automatic. Completely automatic. So that's great. Well, very good. So that was a great moment setting up the telephone system. What else was satisfying about it?
We did also do a test at one point to see if we could have consecutive calls, basically having like a queue so people could answer the calls. That was probably one of the hardest things to figure out at first. It was also because there was such little information online on how to set up a system like this. So it took a lot of trial and error. But once we figured it out, we did have a test where we had everyone call in at once. And when we did that test, everyone was able to call and everyone was able to answer the phones. That was also another great moment to see that finally come together.
That's amazing. Well, here's a moment I remember, and it was crazy. We bought this PBX, and then we find out it only talks to Windows XP. That's it. That's the only operating system that exists for this PBX. So we bought an old XP laptop, and what was there was a challenge there. What was that?
So we actually had trouble programming the PBX because it expected a programmer code and a regular password in order to program it. And that also was hard to find online. But luckily, I believe Ian was able to he managed to find a way to reset the password, and that allowed us to actually program it. But I remember that took a while to figure out how we were able to reprogram it so we could have it do what we want.
Yeah. I was there when they got the thing to wake up. It was super cool. Very good. Thank you, Toby, and thanks for the phone network.